I was working in Siemens. I have done my electrical engineering from Sardar Patel College of Engineering, and after it, I've got the I received the placement in Siemens and was working there till July 2020. So I gave GMAT last week, and I've scored 700 with verbal 37 and quant 48. IR score was 5. Strategies basically was review was the most important thing I did again and again. I reviewed each wrong question. I made error logs, and error log helped me a lot. Error log is the one thing that everyone should do, because I started seeing that I was making a certain type of error again and again. So I made a log. I go went through it every 3-4 days. After every 3-4 days, I went through that error log and saw where I was making the mistakes, and I just focused on not making those mistakes again. So that's what helped me a lot. CR was not a problem, but this error log helps a lot in verbal section. The verbal was my Achilles heel, so I focused much more on verbal. And I was, as I'm engineer, I knew it from the beginning that I can do pretty fair and good in quant. So I focused more on verbal and just went on with studies, and I got what I needed. Actually, in quant, I practiced a lot. Uh, I went on practicing. I made my basics clear first of all. Then I went on practicing and practicing and practicing. And after a certain point, I felt like I got a confidence in myself that I can do any type of, give me any type of problem. If I get enough time, then I can solve any type of uh, quant problem. So I later on just focused on getting it in time, making the things correct in time. So I didn't do much in quant, but yeah, that's what I did. I just practiced a lot. Actually, mocks were like I used to take them once in a week or twice in a week. So the giving mocks was equally important as was reviewing the mocks, what mistakes I've done and what should not be done. So that's part here. Reviewing a mock is more important than just going it and seeing the scores, and scores fluctuate a lot in mocks. My score used to fluctuate from 660 to 770. Uh, so that's a different thing. You should not get demotivated or so overconfident on the mock scores. You just have to review those, and that helps.
My name is Vipul Parashar. Okay,
Yeah.
and I am a director in Edushastra and have spent 12 to 13 years in corporate fields. Okay,
Okay.
and then I have been into the management here in Edushastra. And even I used to teach, but right now most of the times I spend as a management guy who manages the business rather than looking at the teaching points. I want you to introduce yourself.
My name is Suyash Patil, and I've done my engineering from Sardar Patel College of Engineering, Andheri. And since then, I'm working in Siemens for more than 2 years now as an project manager and an executive for sales and marketing. My basic schooling was done in Mangaon, and that's a small town near Mumbai. So I have studied in Mangaon since my earlier childhood, and later on I went to Mumbai for my higher education, engineering, and from then I was working in Siemens in Mumbai itself. So
Okay.
yeah, and in Siemens I used to execute MV projects, medium voltage substation projects, and also I used to handle the electrical design part of that projects. Yeah. And
Okay.
saying something about myself, I feel I am an extrovert person. I was very active in my college's debating committee, and I've always been a sports player. So also I am a very good team player. Also I have leaded my college's teams and other the teams. So I think I'm a good leader too. And yeah, I'm a very responsible and trustworthy project. I've seen myself working very hard, and yeah, uh, yeah, going giving my 110% each and every time I am given a responsibility, a crucial role. So I think even if I'm given anything to do, I am pretty sure I can manage to do it somehow. So this is me who gives 110% to each and every task I do. And I'm a quick learner also. And yeah, that's about me, sir.
Okay. See, I will go into why MBA and all, but before that, if I look at some parameters, I just want you to rank yourself in that, okay? In the scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the lowest and being the highest, okay? If I say leadership as a facet, as a leadership, rank yourself into the 1 to 10 scale.
I would rank myself to 7 or 8, sir.
Great.
7 or 8, because I have some experience in leadership, but I still have like some attributes. I think
Okay.
sometimes I get panicked and I have to learn
Okay.
things. Yeah.
Okay. So, what is leadership?
Sir, basically for me, leadership is understanding the people who you are leading.
Correct.
Yeah, what are their capabilities, what they do, what you need to do, what are your targets, and how can you achieve those targets. Understanding each the capabilities and whatever the yeah capabilities of all the people. Understanding those.
Okay. If I say leadership is taking all the people, all the members of your team to a common goal, am I correct?
Right. Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Okay, that's great. So the first thing, what if I'm taking to a common goal? What is the first thing which would be needed? Goal, the objective.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Correct.
Yes, sir.
So first I need an objective. So first is I get motivate. I have a self motivator. That's my first leadership quality. The second leadership, I'll generate an idea. Generating an idea doesn't mean invention or discovery. It can even mean doing the same thing in a better way. Okay, just like you were doing a project. Many project managers would have been there, but as a Mr. Patil, when he became project leader, how innovative or how was he able to generate a better idea? Okay, so the first thing is you are a self motivator. Number two, you are an idea generator. Number three, then you carry the team to a common goal. Can you recount any incidents in education or maybe in your working with Siemens? Any incident, anything where exactly a leadership quality, as you have rated yourself 7 out of 10.
Yes. Yes.
So I'm just trying to look at what are because when I was looking at the profile of yours, I was not able to get many things out of it.
Yes, I think I can attribute a leadership goal. I was the captain of my college's volleyball team, so
Volleyball team. Okay.
yeah, I've leaded it, and I have won some
You
university level tournaments. Yeah,
You led it. Okay.
yeah. I was the captain of my team, and we won university level tournaments, and that was very amateur team I've got, and I led it, and we achieved that university tournament. We achieved the gold medal in that. So
You
that
won a gold medal in that. Okay.
yeah, we were the first place holders, and that was a great achievement for me that time during my second year. Yeah, and
Okay.
later on in my professional life, actually we were single-handedly executing the projects. Like I was the whole and sole person who was executing a project. In college I was also the event and finance head of my students association. So
Okay.
I have hosted many events, university level events too.
Mr. Patil, when we are talking to any business school, people, most of the people would like objective answers, or I would say analytical answers, rather than very subjective answers. As a captain, you led the team to victory. I understand it, but can you pinpoint any leadership quality there? Anything which you did? See, you can have a very weak leader, then also with very good team you can win, isn't it? So I'm looking at a kind of an analytical answer in which, let's say, you had a situation and you worked in it, and I would need a full story kind of a thing. Let's say there was an X was the situation, and you contributed. It turned out to be Y. So this is what I'm looking at. I'm looking at a very numerical point, a full story out of it. Anything from your education or anything out of your working.
I can tell about a particular match, actually the final match which we won, but that was against the previous year champions, and
Acha.
we had very weak team, and we were almost losing the game. We were on like in a 15 game, we were on 14-7 something, and I knew that we just need 1 point to get my team motivated. We just need one good point, and we got that point. We got again point and point and point, and we got to the deuce, and we eventually won it. And we did nothing more but just holding on to the game. Like uh, we're not giving up so easily, and I was not letting anyone give up. I was just cheering them that it will win it, will win it. Just now, no point.
You're motivating the team.
Yeah, I was motivating the team, and I knew it that 1 point can change the mindset of each and every player, and everyone gets energized. Yeah, so we got eventually that point, and we won that tournament. Yeah.
The second main parameter in which I would like you to rate yourself is the management and organizational skills. If I look at the management and organizational skills rating, same scale, 1 to 10, and the reason.
There was a project of DSCL Sugars, DCM Sriram Group.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a crucial project actually. That was not a big project, but it was complex in terms of electrical systems.
Okay.
So there was a delay in that project, a lot of delay actually, and I was handling that project. So what happened was the delay was from the client and consultant, his consultant side. His consultant was not getting the electrical parameters right, and he was again and again changing the plan. So the delay was on their side, but they were, as usual, the sugar factories always force during the harvesting season to get the deliveries in time.
Yes, he's doing.
Because so they were we got some vice presidents some mail, and they were forcing a lot, and they were indirectly going through the highest management. They mailed the CEO of Siemens for that single project. So my manager's manager came once, and he asked me what's the case here. So I told him everything. My manager was sitting right to me. So he just told one thing, that this project, even if it is not our delay, the end up the at the end of the chain are the Indian farmers who are going to be benefited. And if this is not executed on time, they are going to suffer a lot, because they have to travel a lot to
social impact. Social impact. Correct.
Yeah, that's a big impact. That's a big impact. So that kicked me a little bit a lot actually. And what I did was I went on to that project. I myself called the consultant. I called a meeting. He came to Siemens from Bangalore, Chennai, I guess. So he came to Siemens, and we discussed it for 2-3 days. We finalized a plan, and the electrical design, we finalized it. I told him, sir, we'll try for, actually the lead time for the project is 16 weeks, minimum 16 weeks. And the time we got was around 8 to 9 weeks. So, sir, I told him I'll try my best. I know at the end of the chain are farmers, so we'll do it as soon as possible. And we'll also reduce the commissioning time. So commissioning was under Siemens too. So what I did was I called each and every vendor, each and every relay. Actually, the lead time of relay was too high. The relay was going to come from Goa and all. So what I did was the similar relay was used in some other project, so I used that relay in this project. I managed each and every part. I was taking care of each and every part of that project, and finally the project was delivered in the 7th week itself. So that was a great achievement. I received a lot of praises, good notes from my management too. And yeah, later on the commissioning was also done on time, and the plant started on the before the time of harvesting, a lot before the time of harvesting. So I feel that can be a good example, because I reduced the lead time from 16 weeks to 8 weeks.
Correct.
Yeah.
See, just recounting all the things you said. So you rated in the management, you rated in the leadership, you rated yourself 7. So in the management and organizational facet, what is the rating?
Maybe the same 8, around 8.
8. Okay.
Yeah.
And let's say if I say creativity and problem solving skills, 1 to 10.
Yeah, that too I can rate myself a little high, because I am a resourceful person. I know I can get things done, work.
That's good.
Yeah.
Okay. One more facet, if I look at, let's say, any kind of entrepreneurship kind of a thing. Let's say entrepreneurship is not only a business; it's any idea, anything which you did new, which was not earlier happening. Maybe college, as you said, you were into sports, you were into events, you were into debating. So anything which shows an entrepreneurship kind of a quality.
I have done many events. I executed. Execute as in I organized an inter-department cup for my college. There were only 3 students in the college, one from each department handling, and I was representing my department in that.
Okay.
That was my idea to organize that event. So that was one thing. And in my career in Siemens, I started one thing that was knowledge sharing sessions. Like we didn't knowledge sharing sessions. We didn't name it anything, but yeah, what we used to do is in any project, if we get a new idea, we used to have a Friday evening session, like Friday 4 to 5 we had the learning session. So we used to get together, everyone. That was compulsorily, I took permissions from the managers, and that was made compulsory to everyone.
Okay.
And we used to hold the meetings, and if someone had some experience of new things to learn, new, if there's nothing new that happened that week, we used to share anything. Like once I shared the stock markets candle graph, I told them that. So we did that, and that was my initiative, and that's still going on there.
Okay. And when I look at the emotional quotient points, let's say as a human,
Understanding.
let's say, what are the qualities? So how do you rate yourself in the skills of EQ?
I think I'm pretty good. I understand my colleagues, and I have helped a lot of them. I was also a volunteer in child rights and EU NGO. So basically I'm coming from a rural background. I know what difficulties children face. So I was pretty empathetic towards them. I used to go and teach them on weekends, and I know what that means. So yeah, I'm empathetic to them too.
Okay.
I don't share that much, but yeah.
When we look at the business school, any kind of an interviews, even any kind of a admission process, there are 5 main parameters in which everything would be mapped. The one thing is the leadership. The second thing is the entrepreneurship. The third thing is the management and organizational facet. And the fourth thing is your problem solving and creativity facet. Your creativity and problem solving skills. And the last thing is the EQ. EQ is the thing which sets you apart. Okay, now looking at the profile of yours, you are an engineer with a 2 years, a kind of a project manager kind of an experience in more of an IT kind of an experience. So when I look at all these experiences, this is a very, I would say, most of the people would have these kind of an experiences when we look at the engineering points, engineering people. And out of the 100 application might be 90 applications would be the same. kind of a thing. So what sets Mr. Patil apart is the EQ. Okay,
Okay.
so that when I look at the profile, it doesn't set you apart actually. So please try to put the EQ points in the profile so that it makes Mr. Patil apart from others. Okay, when you're reaching an interview stage, obviously your IQ is proved because you've already given GMAT and already I think you've scored 700 or I think more than that. So your IQ is already proved. So what is setting me apart? 10 people entering into an interview room, okay, and one person getting selected. So why? The answer is the EQ. That sets you apart. The disparity, the diversity you bring into the group. Okay, I want that to be much more better reflected in the profile of yours, which I was not able to see. Number two, when I look at the profile of yours, you have put your achievements, but achievements all are subjective achievements. I was looking into the loyalty of the customer. I was looking into retainership, relationship with the customer. This is everyone do. When I look at, let's say, if I'm saying I'm a project manager or I say I'm a marketing manager, and in my achievements I've written I marketed very well. I'm a sales manager and in achievement I did rights. I sold many things. This is a very subjective point. Try to have a very analytical point. Try to have a full story out in that. Let's say one sentence which tells the whole story, one sentence which talks it in more analytical fashion rather than a subjective fashion. Most of the business school will like your numbers, data, will like your analytical viewpoints rather than subjective viewpoints like I was a good sales manager, I had 100 meetings in sales. That's not the point. The point is your achievement proved numerically. So that I want to say, okay, when you are working on the profile,
Okay.
please put only 2 points or 3 points as an achievement, but have a full story written in that. Okay, story means earlier it was this much sales was there. I came and the sales moved this much. Now the question starts how and why. So this is what I'm looking in the profile part. Profile part, try to have at least 20% or 30% of space for the EQ facet. So this is what the profile changes I would like to have. And when I look at most of the applications, don't try to put your best foot forward rather than try to have see what exactly business school is looking at and try to, I would say, present yourself in the same way. Okay. Try to have these 5 pillars in your mind: leadership, management and organizational facet, creativity and problem solving skills, entrepreneurship skills, EQ skills. This is what the pillars are. And after that, the 3 questions: why MBA, why you, and why they. If you're clear in these 3 questions, you will sail through. Why MBA?
Sir, because I think I am a good in a technical aspects. I'm pretty good in technical field. So if I get some business insights, I can do something more. I can be at some different position, and I can do more than what I'm currently doing.
Um, if I'm going to something, let's say I'm going to buy a pen. Okay. Obviously, I needed a pen for something. That's why I went. So if you're going to a business school, obviously you must be very clear why you are there, why you're doing this 1 year total exercise where you went for GMAT. Maybe the application process may take 5 to 6 months more. So obviously you should be very clear why MBA. And try to, if you are finding it difficult, try to bring the answer to skill sets. I'm lacking in these skill sets, and that's why I'm here. If you're not lacking in anything and already you are good, why you are there then? Why you? That is why business school, most of the ISB, when we look at even most of the business school, will have questions phrased in a very different way, but it will ask you only why you. For example, the ISB last year, I think the essay was, out of the 1,000 people they are going to select for the academic year, Why you should be selected? In a way, they are asking you why you.
I don't know about the other applications, but what I can assure is I can 100%. I can give my 100% to learn new concepts, and I'm open to learn. And yeah, I want to learn that. That's
Learn what?
that's
What to
the
learn?
business aspects, the business aspects, the business nonsense that we can learn in
Okay.
business school, a business
You want
school.
to learn business? Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't had a business background, so I
Okay.
have to get it from somewhere. So maybe a business school is a bit the only place where I can get some nonsense of business. And I'm pretty sure I can give my 110% to each and every part that I can get. I can get whatever like from the business school. And uh, yeah, I believe in hard work. And if and also believe that if someone tries to achieve something with their whole heart, they can achieve that thing. And that my goal is to start something of my own and take it to the level where the budding entrepreneurs could see me as an ideal. So I'm sure I can achieve it, and I can prove ISB that I could be a contributing part to its alumni too, alumni base too. So
What are your short-term, and long-term goals? And how does a business school fit into it? In other way, simply putting it into words, it is why they.
through business school, I can obviously learn those nonsense of businesses, learn the business, and in short term, I can get into a business and be in a position where I can use the skills which I have learned in my B school, and use and apply them and see if I can apply them rightly. Like learning those concepts is a different thing, and applying them to the real time market is a different thing. So in short term I can apply them, and in long term I can use the applied concepts, or whatever knowledge I have gained in B schools and the applications what I've seen in the corporation which I'll be working in my own firm someday, in my own firm. So that for that I think a business school will be the best thing which could help me to start at least the part of the process of my dream. Okay.
Was an idea. Google was an idea. Okay. Sales, marketing, other things came afterwards. Every business you look at was an idea. Okay. Then after that, operations people were taken, sales people were taken, marketing people were taken, and that's how the idea develops. But what is a business? That's an idea. Okay.